And so there is no doubt that the best budget 3x3s out there right now are the MF3RS2 and the YuXin Little Magic. And I've gotten a lot of questions as to which one I prefer or which one I think is the best budget 3x3. And for those of you with short attention spans, I'll tell you my answer right now, right off the bat. It really depends. If we're talking just straight setup like lubing, tensioning, just straight out of the box, then I think the MF3RS2 is better. But if we're talking about adding magnets, then in that case, I prefer the YuXin Little Magic over the MF3RS2. Now, when looking at both these two cubes, they pretty much have the same technical performance. They have really great corner cutting, past 45 degrees, and about half a piece reverse, and the speed is really great too, but of course both of those variables can change depending on how you tension or how you lubricate the puzzle. And really the only differences lie in the feeling and the stability of each of these cubes. So starting off with the YuXin Little Magic, this one is definitely on the more flexible side, but it is of course really smooth. And I think the only reason why it feels much more flexible and a little bit less stable is because the inner mechanism is a little bit further down into the core, whereas the MF3RS2, it feels just more stable, and it just feels like the inner mechanism is a little bit more expanded, a little bit more outwards, if that makes any sense. But this one, it does feel smooth too, but it's definitely on the more crispy side, and it just doesn't flex as much. And so when considering these stock unmagnetized versions, I would say go for the MF3RS2. Even though the YuXin Little Magic has a much more preferable feeling to me personally, it's just a little bit unreliable and too flexible in an actual solving situation. So the MF3RS2 is definitely more reliable and pretty much my go-to if I were to choose from either of these puzzles. But when we're talking about the magnetized versions, I pretty much do the opposite. I go for the YuXin Little Magic magnetized over the magnetized MF3RS2. And that's pretty much because of the feelings. Because the MF3RS2 is already so stable, it doesn't really need magnets. And when you do add magnets, it just feels a little bit too heavy and just a little slow. On the other hand, the YuXin Little Magic, because it is so flexible and just so fast without the magnets, adding the magnets definitely changes the game. It just feels so amazing. It has that same nice, buttery, fast, and smooth feeling. And so the magnets don't really obstruct the turning too much because the stock version is already so flexible feeling. But yeah, with the MF3RS2, that is not really the case. Because the puzzle's already so stable, the magnets kind of just make it too stable and too blocky feeling. And so to sum everything up, there really is no best 3x3 out of these two. Both of these are really great, and I honestly get around the same times on all versions of these cubes, and really it just comes down to the feeling that you prefer. If you want something maybe a little bit more flexible and slightly faster depending on how you set it up, the YuXin Little Magic suits that description really well. And if you're even willing to take time to add magnets to it, it's definitely my favorite version out of all these cubes. But on the other hand, if you want something that needs maybe a little less work to get good, the MF3RS2 is definitely the one you should go for. Out of the box, it was a little bit more premium feeling, but if you over-lube it by even just a bit, it can be prone to feeling sluggish. So I hope this video did help you decide which cube you should get, and if you have any lingering questions, then feel free to leave them in the comments below. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.